So it is correct that you support a united federal Ukraine too, right?
That is correct.
It is correct. Okay. So on that, based on that, what do you make of President Putin's comments today about the ceasefire, his decision to go to
the Duma,
to the Duma to have the force authorization?
Yeah.
moved?
Well, a couple points on this. Look, we welcome, there was also a decision today by some separatist leaders to accept the ceasefire. At the same time, we also saw some separatists shooting down a Ukrainian helicopter, so clearly, not surprisingly, the separatists all aren't on the same page. President Putin did ask the upper chamber of Russia's parliament to repeal, I think it was the March 1st resolution authorizing the use of Russian military force in Ukraine. This resolution had raised tensions, and its removal would be a step in the right direction. Obviously, we need to see other steps like ending its occupation of Crimea as well.
Was this something that you guys had sought, specifically sought from or asked of Putin? When you say in numerous conversations that the Secretary has had with Foreign Minister Lavrov, and less numerous but still several conversations that the President has had with President Putin, when you've talked in general terms about de-escalation, is this one of the things that...
It's a good question. I don't know. If it's been brought up before, I'm happy to check.
And in terms of the shoot down of the
Yes.
downing of the helicopter, is this the end of the ceasefire, despite the words from everyone?
No, I wouldn't say that. Look, this ceasefire and the negotiations surrounding it are really Ukraine's best chance for peace. And we do welcome the fact that some separatists have said they will accept it and abide by it. But clearly, more negotiations need to happen, and we have called on President Putin to use his influence with these separatists to get them to also accept the ceasefire.
But you have not yet seen that, except for the several that have said they would respect the ceasefire. Have you seen that more broadly? Are you still seeing the movement of what you've said is movement of tanks and heavy armaments?
Yes, none of that has changed, and continue to see a number of Russian combat units being deployed to locations close to the Ukrainian border as well.
That buildup is continuing. Does the fact that the buildup is continuing, and you've now said this a couple of days, I mean, you certainly said it yesterday, and Jen was saying it last week, does that make you take any less seriously President Putin's request that the Duma remove the authorization?
You know, as I said, taken by itself, the request to remove the authorization would be a good step in the right direction. But again, words need to be matched by actions. And this is a situation where you take 2 steps forward and 1 step back. Some separatists accept a ceasefire, some don't. A helicopter gets shot down. So we've seen some steps out of President Putin that we do think are a move in the right direction, but, you know, there are actions that need to be taken that we haven't seen taken.
Any more, do you have any more evidence of Russian materiel either being prepared for transit or actually crossing into Ukraine?
Not any new evidence. I think we've laid out over the past week a fairly robust case of those tanks and rocket-propelled grenades.
Sorry, when you said this 2 steps forward, 1 step back, is that how you see this situation, or is that just a kind of a rhetorical example?
Well, I think both can be true. I mean, it's a rhetorical example of how we do see some positive signs on the ground. The ceasefire, some separatists have accepted it, but the same day, some other separatists shot down a helicopter. The President Putin says he'll go to the Duma. That's good, but then they continue the military buildup.
Right, but 2 steps forward and 1 step back is still 1 step forward. So that's.
I wouldn't be too precise reading into the numbers. It was a rhetorical device, I think.
Okay, all right. I just
to be clear that look, there has been some progress, but at the same time, it often feels like we are taking steps backward from where we need to be.
Right, but I mean the fact that you used
not a precise mathematical calculation.
I know, but the fact
then
that you said
ask if you
because
know?
you said because the fact that you said 2 steps forward, 1 step back instead of 1 step forward and 2 steps back suggests that
I was quoting a popular 80s song I used to listen to on the radio.
Fine.
If anyone knows who that's by, I'll buy you dinner.
But you're not saying that you see things going in a positive
trajectory. No, I wasn't saying that. Well, there are
positive
positive signs, but in terms of the trajectory, you know, there's a lot of work that needs to be done.